Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning from wherever you are watching this. Whenever you are watching this, welcome to the presentation today. Today I am, if for those of you who don't know who I am Denis Carroll. I am the owner of Weekend Publisher, and I am a book marketing coach. And today I am going to cover Amazon ads versus Facebook ads. What is the right platform for you and your book and your goals with your book? Um, I do have a presentation, a slideshow presentation that I'll be doing. If anyone has any questions, I will probably not get to them until closer to the end, truthfully, just because, well, I do this every time. I don't need the headphones. It's more of a comfort thing at this point because I wear them so much during the day. But yeah, if you're joining me, muchly appreciated. And there's a lot of new people in the group and a lot of new people in terms of my Facebook friends. So I'm streaming this in my Facebook group, on my Facebook profile, or my personal profile, and in my YouTube channel. So wherever you're watching from, welcome, and I'm happy you're here. But regardless, I'll be able to get to your questions. So if you do have any questions while we go through, certainly write them in the chat, and I'll do my best to get to them. So, enough with the introduction. And someone wrote, "Hi, Denny," and "Hello, Avery." I believe that is. Yeah, nice to see you, Avery. Okay, so let's get to it. Now, I am using a new piece of software here. Not new, but I mean, I used it last time, but it's still new to me. So let me see here. Let me just share my screen. I'm always nervous about sharing the wrong screen. It's something will come up that I don't want people to see. But here we are. All right. Okay, everyone should see that now. Okay, so yeah, like I said, Facebook ads versus Amazon ads, and I am going to. This is going to be super valuable for you. It's going to be extremely valuable. I wish I knew this when I first started doing ads for my books. I really did. I really do. So why this lesson now? Three main reasons. I did a recent post of what people want to learn in my Facebook group. If you're not part of that, then you should join it. But it's called Self-Publishing Writing and Marketing. If you're following me from that group, then hello. But I did a big post there, and I know that the majority of people in my group are fiction authors. And from my research, I gather that about 80%, give or take, about 80% of people that are in, the groups, like the writing groups and the publishing groups and the marketing groups, all the groups around indie authors, about 80% are into fiction books. Not into fiction books, but they're writing fiction books. Then Janine's 4chan account pops up. I don't even know that's Steve. Yeah, I could tell that was Steve even before. Yeah, that's good, Steve. Okay, so yeah, I asked the group, what did you want to learn? And overwhelming the majority was Amazon ads. And I thought to myself, you know what? I think I need to do some education. I think I want to share some of my thoughts with people in the group and with the community in a whole. The second reason why I'm doing this is a little bit more self-serving than just give people information. But I'm also coming out with a group coaching program specifically for ads, and I'm going to talk more about that later on. And thirdly, because it's going to help you give you some direction. Again, like I mentioned, I really wish I had this when I was first starting out. Which one should I focus on? Should I focus on Amazon or should I focus on Facebook ads? It's the same thing with social media. Like you really only need you can only really focus on one ad platform at a time and get good at that ad platform and then move on to the next one. It's the same thing with social media. Like I'm very active on Facebook, but I also had an Instagram account that I built up to 1,500 followers, and I was just splitting my time. It was just becoming too thin, right? Like I wasn't doing one all super well just by splitting my time. I eventually will get back to Instagram. I did do two posts the other day, but I'll eventually get back once I hire an assistant, which should be forthcoming in the next couple of months. I'll be hiring an assistant actually. So first of all, do you need ads? The short answer is yes. Absolutely, you need ads. Now, price promotions are great to get a big surge in page rates, especially if you're part of KDP Select. Price promos, like if nobody has ever run price promos and they've run them for the first time, like it's the most exciting thing by far. Like price promotions, you see that bar, like you're refreshing your KDP dashboard, your reports every hour, and you see those bars like go up and up and up, and it's so exciting to be able to see all those free downloads and those page reads. It's the second most exciting thing that could possibly happen to indie author besides like the actual launch. That's probably the most exciting part. Um, yeah, price promotions are great, but to have sustained sales and to make enough money to do this full time for a living, you need ads. There's just no way around it. You just need ads. I've been doing this a while now, and you just need ads. You just do. Um, so yeah, this is some social proof or some proof. This was a coaching client that I was working with. You can see the before. So this is the ABSR, the Amazon bestseller rank, and you can see how it pops down. Amazon bestseller rank, the higher the number, the worse it is. So it's like golf. The lower the number, the better. So you want these peaks here to be higher, and you can see my you should be able to see my mouse. So you could see like it goes down, and then there's a sale or two maybe, and then it goes way up, and then there's a sale. So this is before ads, and this is after ads, where you see a much more sustained day over day sales or page reads of your book. There's just no way around it. You need to do ads if you want to do this long term and make a living out of it. But the challenge is uh, you don't know where to put your money and your time. Um, and really, this was what I was really struggling with myself was what's going to give me the best bang for my buck. Um, I know I have like a pretty international audience, so like best bang for your buck. Does that saying comment? Make sure you comment and like does that saying mean like, is that a common saying from where you are, the best bang for your buck? 'Cause I love that saying, and hopefully everyone understands that. But essentially, the most efficient use of your time and money. Um, yeah. So before I get into it, I'm going to tell you a little bit about where I'm coming from. So I'm actually certified in both Amazon and Facebook ads, and I've been running them for my own books for some time now. And I've also coached dozens of authors to run and optimize ads for themselves. Some people with some very deep pockets, I'm talking upwards of $10,000 a month to promote their books. I didn't take all 10,000 and I didn't use all 10,000 because that's just insane. But some people with some very, very deep budgets, which is great for them, but it also accelerates my learning as well. I'm also part of a bi-weekly ads mastermind groups where we get together. I just finished one where we spoke for an hour just about Amazon targeting, which is quite unique. So yeah, I'm not the world's expert in Facebook and Amazon ads, but I've got some experience behind me. So is it Facebook or Amazon? That's the big question that you came here to learn. And again, this is the worth, this right here, what I'm going to be telling you, is worth the price of admission alone. Um, yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so Amazon. Some pluses with Amazon. You're where the buyers are. So I promoted Amazon ads in my book, Cash Unicorn Book Marketing Strategies for Fiction Authors. And one great thing about Amazon ads is you're where the buyers are. The buyers are there to make a decision to buy a book, and you are right there. You're presenting your book either through keywords or categories or on the products, and you're saying, here, like, consider my book. Um, so that's one huge plus. Um, Another plus is that they give you clear stats. Now, the word clear might not necessarily be 100% accurate, but it gives you stats. Um, Delayed stats, I should say. Clear but delayed stats is probably the best way to put that. Um, so you could see how many people clicked on your book, how many people purchased your book after clicking on it, and that data gives you a lot of really good information. It helps you determine if your cover needs improving, helps you determine if your description needs tweaking. So those are some major pluses with Amazon. Some negatives is, um, and this is the general sense that I've been having, as well as some people I've been having mastermind groups with as well, is that been having a feeling that they're becoming much more competitive in the past few years. Now, in 2017, when I did my first book, it was like I didn't even know what I was doing. I set up some automatic ads. I set my bidding. I don't even know how I did it, and they were profitable. Like just no problem, just profitable. Now you could still do that, but it just takes a lot more tweaking. You gotta get into the search terms. You gotta add negative phrases. You gotta experiment with keywords and categories and product ASINs. It still is possible, but the risk to reward ratio is becoming less. Another negative is that it's easy to set up but hard to master. So I did a couple of videos like how to set up like automatic targeting ads, and those are very easy to set up. I mean, I could do one in, I haven't timed myself, but probably 10 to 20 seconds I could do up a automatic ad just like that. But now mastering it, like I said there, with going to the search terms and negative and testing different results and bidding strategies and all that sort of stuff, it's hard to master. Um, and yeah, you need to pay lots of money to reach a very large audience. Now, in the mastermind that I was talking to today, you really have to control your bids. Now, it's very easy to be like, you know what, I'm going to target certain books and certain keywords like Stephen King. I'm going to target Stephen King books or Andy Weir. He came out with a new book recently in the science fiction space, Hail Mary. And like, yeah, I'm going to target that book because it's selling, hundreds of copies a day. But everyone else has the same idea, right? They're also going to target the book. So you're competing against potentially hundreds of other people targeting that book. So you're going to be paying deeply for those impressions and for those clicks. So you're going to be bidding really high. Yeah, I mean, if you're comfortable paying $1.50 a click, then yeah, you're going to get lots of impressions. But if we're bidding, 25, 30, maybe even up to 50 cents, um, we're really going to have to use the shotgun approach, or maybe it's not the best example, but like spaghetti against the wall, right? Like you're really going to have to take your time and do a lot of different keywords, keywords that are not going to get a lot of impressions in themselves, but because we're bidding, low, we're actually going to get impressions. But we just need to spread that over a lot more keywords than just a few keywords or products. Um, Facebook. So to be clear here, people might be like, well, I've already done Facebook and it hasn't worked for me. I've done a Facebook boosted post and I spent $10 or $20 because Facebook enticed me to do it because I set up my page and they said, hey, here's a free $10 or $20 or $5 or whatever it is now these days. And there you go, spend it on us. There you go. And you're like, it didn't work. I got a bunch of likes, I got, a few comments or whatever. It just didn't work. So that's not what we're talking about here. When I'm talking about Facebook ads, I'm talking about going deep into the ads manager. And yeah, it's going from like a safe place with just the boosted post, like an environment that you're very familiar with, the Facebook page, going deep into the ads manager, which initially can look a little scary with a whole bunch of different columns and buttons everywhere, and you go week by week and it's always changing and all that sort of stuff. But that's not what I'm talking about. The boosted post. I'm talking about the actual ads manager. So some pluses, the massive, massive plus, and this is where I refer them back to one of the earlier slides, is that you have access to a massive audience, and this is what can get you those sustainable sales, which will get you onto the path of becoming a writer full time, or maybe not full time. Maybe that might not be your goal, but being able to consistently as possible, supplement your income. So maybe you could, take a couple extra days off, right, and focus on your writing, and that accelerates, and you write more and more. Um, so yeah, I know not everyone's goal is to write this full time, to do this full time, but yeah, I mean, who's going to say no to some extra supplemental income, right? Another plus is that you can be much more creative. With Amazon ads, it doesn't really favor the creative type. We're looking at keywords and products and categories. It really favors like the more data-driven type of people where you're downloading reports and going to Excel spreadsheets and doing all that. It's just like you can get really, really deep into it. With Facebook ads, everyone knows Facebook, right? You got your text, you got your headline, you got your images. Those are really the most important things that we're gonna be focused on. And you can be really creative. You can mix things up with that type of stuff, especially the images. It's a lot of fun to test different images and see which one resonates most with your audience and all that sort of stuff. Some negatives is the platform can be confusing. Like I said there, this is not a boosted post. This is deep into the ads manager. So initially, for the first timer, it can be confusing, if not a little bit overwhelming to look at all that. Um, Lack of easily accessible stats. So like I said, with Amazon ads, they have the stats readily available. They have your impressions, how many people clicked on it, how many people ordered it. You can do, and this is a big thing that I'll be covering in my group coaching. You can track the effectiveness of ads, and this is such a huge thing, where your CPC, or your cost per click, what you're paying for somebody to click on your ads, is just part of the story. So you might be, and I'm getting a little bit off track here, but I'm kind of excited about this, but you might be paying a little bit more per click, but those people are converting a lot better. And a perfect example is the age range. And I don't want to confuse people, but like age range, where you can target a certain age ranges in Facebook to target certain people. Where the age range of 65 plus are notorious to do a lot of clicking on your ads but never buy anything. So that's just one example of making sure, not only looking at how much is it costing us per click, but also making sure, is that actually effective? Are those people actually converting into buyers or page reads? But there is a way to keep track of stats. It's just a little bit more difficult, or just need a little bit more guidance to do it. And the other thing is, it can waste a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. Now, with Facebook ads, again, with a massive audience, this is a double-edged sword. So there's some risk to a high reward. So if you put $10 a day, they will spend $10 a day. If you put $5 a day, Facebook will spend $5 a day. Where with Amazon, if you put $5 a day, unless you're being crazy with your bidding, they're not going to be spending $5 a day. Yeah, so that's the difference. So as a general rule, so to finish off this part, is it Facebook or Amazon, which is right for your book? As a general rule, Amazon is great for low sustained sales. The downfall with Amazon though is especially for fiction books, now this doesn't apply as much for nonfiction, but especially with fiction books, that that reward to effort ratio is becoming less and less. So what do I mean by that? To set up a quick automatic targeting ad is very easy, and it takes very little maintenance to do. You can set your bid low, just check on it every once in a while, check in your search terms, make sure you have the proper negative targeting and proper phrase targeting and all that sort of stuff. Negative targeting. Sorry, I got distracted by some of the comments. But yeah, to actually do it, there's such a learning curve. for like a low reward, essentially. But with Facebook, there is certainly, I mean, there's a learning curve with everything. There certainly is the learning curve there as well, but you access such a massive audience that it's hard for me to not um, recommend more Facebook over Amazon. Now, Amazon, again, I think is still valuable. What I wrote in Catch the Unicorn. So some people might be saying, you know what, Denis, you wrote in Catch the Unicorn, Demystifying Book Marketing for Fiction Authors. You wrote that, yeah, price promotions and Amazon ads. And I still stick by that. I still think Amazon ads is great. You could set up an automatic ad, set it and forget it, more or less. That's one of the only things that you could actually probably set it and forget it if you do it right. But yeah, Facebook, you tap into such a massive, large audience. So certainly let me know if you're going to be changing your approach to running ads. Again, you want to focus just on one platform and master that platform and move on to the next one. It's the same thing with my example and my social media. Um, with my social media, you know, I was working a lot on Facebook ads or Facebook in my Facebook group and so on, and engaging in that and trying to grow that through Facebook Lives and all that sort of stuff. But I was also you know, splitting my time with Instagram and yeah, it was just I wasn't doing either of them all that well. So again, until I hire an assistant, which will be forthcoming, um, I won't be splitting my time anymore. So what are your options? So now that we know you, it's best to run Amazon ads, especially if you want those consistent long-term sales to get that supplemental income, to maybe take more days off, so you can focus more on your writing. So you have a couple of options here. And some people might be saying, I don't want to learn ads because like it's just too frustrating, it's just too overwhelming and all that sort of stuff. Okay, well let's look at your other options. And this is 100% accurate. So option one is you can pay someone to run them for you. And that's going to cost you about $1,000 a month. And I am very, very active on Reedsy as a marketing coach there. I'm not sure if you know the platform Reedsy, but it's a pretty good platform. But I'm a marketing coach there, and people send you briefs, and I send them offers. And I speak to a lot of people there, and yeah, they very, very often, and not just on Reedsy, but everywhere else, they very often get quoted $1,000 a month for people to run their ads, which to me is ridiculous. I would, yeah, I mean, $1,000, like who can afford $1,000 a month? Like that's just crazy. I would never recommend that unless you have very, very deep pockets. Um, and people have paid me to run their ads as well. I no longer run ads for people. I've stopped that altogether. But I would not take $1,000 a month from people because that's just. But my time was worth it's more than that $1,000 a month because it did take a long time. Um, the other option is explore resources online and figure out how to run them profitably on your own. And if you want to do it that way, I could certainly recommend a couple of books that are really good. Reedsy has a free online course that's really helpful. And there's a book as well, Help My Facebook Ads Suck. That's on Amazon, and that's a really good book as well. So you're welcome to, now that you saw the value in Facebook ads, you're welcome to figure out them on your own. And then the third option is become part of a coaching program. And that's what I'm introducing today, where you'll get the most up-to-date and relevant information that you could use immediately. So I'll be opening up the coaching program after my presentation here, but I'll talk a little bit about the coaching program and see if it's right for you and your goals, see if it's going to help you get closer to your goals, see if it's right for you, and see if it's right for your books and so on. So, but this way you get to skip the middleman, you get to keep all the revenue. Yeah, I'm not going to take any of your revenue from your books. That all goes into your pocket. Plus, you get the community support from other authors just like you. So some of the benefits of the coaching program is that you'll be able to set your path to finally profit from your books. And again, this is for the long term, tapping into a massive audience. You'll be able to understand if your ads are actually working. And this is a big thing that I talked about with using special, you know, plug and play Excel spreadsheets, where you'll be able to track the real numbers to know which ones are actually profitable. And that is the biggest thing. You might be running ads if you don't do this. You might be running the ads and you're just looking at one number. That's only part of the story. You want to run the ads for as long as possible, the ones that are most profitable, and that takes testing. And that's what we talk about in the group coaching: how to test, what to test, how long to test it for, and how to track all that stuff. All that stuff. You get the best bang for your buck. Yeah, you get to save those dirty hidden costs of hiring someone to do it for you. That $1,000 a month. Like, you imagine it's $12,000 a year. Um, that's crazy. Put that over your author, writer lifetime. You're looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's just that's kind of insane to me. And you'll be able to confidently navigate the platform. That was a big thing that people get. They feel overwhelmed when they open up that platform, and they're like, "Oh man, that's a lot of columns. That's a lot of buttons. Like I don't know what columns I need. What stats do I need to look at? What makes sense? What doesn't make sense? What applies to our books? Like because Facebook ads, I like to put it as this. Like it's very very powerful. The Facebook ads platform, and I've used it for a long time. I used to sell like, oh man, a bunch of stuff like trench coats and shirts, and this is talking like 8, 9 years ago. I used to sell a bunch of stuff on that thing. Um, but yeah, it's like a Ferrari, and what we're doing is we're going to pick up groceries. Just to sell our books, we only need to use a portion of the Facebook ads platform. So what I show you is how to confidently navigate it and use, just because we don't need a Ferrari to go pick up groceries. We just need a Matrix, or a Toyota Matrix, or we just need a Corolla or something that's not sexy. Um, so yeah, I'll just walk you through briefly through the coaching program and to see if it's a right fit for you or not. It might not be. It might be. But yeah, let's go over that in just a minute here. All right, so I do have the link in the description on Facebook and in the description of YouTube, I believe it is as well. So you'll be able to access this page through those links. So you can apply now, and that just takes you down to the actual application. But yeah, this is what we do. It's a 4-week program, 4-week coaching program, and what's worthy of noting is that I'm only taking 4 people. So 4 people for 4 weeks. Because I want to keep it nice and intimate. I want to be able to give a lot of attention to those 4 people, and I want it to be like a nice intimate group where we're sharing lessons learned in our certain niches, and oh, I did this and I did that, and if someone's really struggling, I'll be able to, okay, let's spend an extra 20 minutes together at the end of the session and let's figure out how to get these on track. So I want it to be really intimate, and it's over 4 weeks. So we get the week 1, we go over the introduction to the Facebook Manager and the tracking sheet, that coveted tracking sheet that I use for my books to know which ads are profitable, which campaigns are profitable, and which ones aren't. So this is going to alleviate a lot of that. Oh my goodness! Like look at all these buttons and everything. It's going to alleviate a lot of that sort of stuff. It's make you start to feel comfortable with the Ads Manager. Week 2, you start getting into your creative side and building your creative and exploring the ads library and taking a look at taking a look at other pages in your niche and spying, essentially. I mean, ethically spying and seeing what ads they're running and emulating what they're doing and creating our text and creating our images. So that's kind of a fun one. Week 3 is launching your first ad. So you can see here, before we even launch our first ad, it's a very methodical and set out way. We're not going to be just like, first week, yeah, launch your first ad. Like, who cares about money? Let's just throw money at it and let's figure it out. No, it's a very methodical way. We're not starting our first ad until week 3, which might seem slow for people, but this is the best way to do it. So in week 2, we're doing creative. We're doing multiple sets of creative to be able to test multiple different ways. Yeah, so that'll be we'll be going you'll have an over the shoulder demo, and we'll be working intimately together. And then week 4, we'll be tracking your results and optimizing your ads. And I'll be showing you I'll be pushing you on your way. And then, of course, I'll be there for a follow up. And after the course is done, after the coaching is done, I'll be there for follow up. And we'll have our own Facebook chat, all 4 of us. So, again, here I talked about learn the ads on your own, hire someone to run them for you, or make the investment in yourself in the books today. About me, and yeah, I got some credibility things, which I think that helps. So yeah, again, 4 spots available. It's $397 United States dollars or USD. And again, I'm only accepting 4 people. What you do is, if you don't think it's right for you, I would suggest you start the application. If you are at all interested, enter your name here and your email, and that's all you have to enter. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have individual one-on-one sessions with everyone who is interested in it. So I'm not going to take you if you're not the right fit, or your book is not the right fit. So I want to make sure that you understand the program. I want to answer any of the questions that you have. I want to ask, make sure that your book, I want to make sure your cover is good. I want to make sure your description is good, because those are very, very important. I don't want to just take anybody and say, yeah, you know what, the ads are going to work for you, when in my heart of hearts, I know they're not going to, that you need to improve your cover, you need to improve your description. So if there's any questions, or if you're at all interested, I suggest you click on that link, enter your name and your email. You'll get an automatic email from me with a link to set up a time to have a one-on-one chat with me. And you might be thinking, well, $397, like that's seems to be a lot of money. But what my goal is to 10x your investment in the first year. Um, yeah, yeah, because again, it's all about, what is the return on my investment, in both in time and in money, right? So I don't want to be just taking people's money and say, you know what, thanks for your money, like, yeah, all right, there you go. Here's what you learned. I want you to get a return on your investment in time, the time savings that you'll be having. You won't have to, you know, go through YouTube or read a bunch of books and to discover what to do and how to do it and how to track and all that sort of stuff. So you do save a lot of time there. Of course, time is money. A lot of time that you could go into, spend time with your family, or spend time with the next book, writing the next book. But money is the big thing as well. And yeah, I don't want to do this unless I'm going to be giving you a return on your investment as well. But yeah, if you have any questions, and then I have a bunch of testimonials here. Avery, I think you're here. I mean, my biggest fan, Avery. And then I got a bunch of other testimonials from people that seem to like me and what I do. But yeah, if you have any questions, certainly leave them in the chat, or send me a direct message, or just enter your name and email, and we'll get chatting. So that is it for today. Again, Facebook over, there we go. So yeah, again, we talked about Facebook over Amazon ads, which is right for you. Hopefully that helped you out in terms of what sort of ads platform you should be focusing on for you and your book, and for your goals. If your goal is to, you know what, I'm fine with just, maybe 5 or 6 sales a month with, setting up automatic ads on Amazon. That takes about 2 minutes to do, and that's very, very easy to do. But if you're if you're looking to create a sustainable source of people going to your page, and sustainable sales to eventually make it to a full-time work, or a minimum assisted sustainable income, or some extra income, then Facebook ads, and then you have those couple of options of hiring it out, or doing it on your own, or with the group coaching. But either way, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be in the comments for the next, I don't know, couple minutes, and yeah, thanks everyone for joining in, and I'll see you in the next one.